When it comes to the character of Yami Sukihiro, Black Clover is in a very interesting place to kill Yami or not to kill Yami. It's one of the more realistic discussions that has probably happened at some point by the author and his editors, but for today's video, I want to look at why Yami is about to make a grand re-entrance into the story that is going to put Yami at a level of power that could very well go past the current Wizard King in his prime, Julius Novachrono. Now, my reasoning for this is very simple in my opinion. So, the Dark Triad, when they were first introduced, were absolute monsters. Vonica easily destroyed Noelle and Laura Pesca in battle. Zenon destroyed Yuno in the Golden Dawn with ease, and Dante, when he wasn't making goo-goo eyes at Vanessa, was also, to borrow a line from Stone Cold Steve Austin, was stomping a mud hole and walking it dry when he fought against Asta. However, when it came to Yami, Dante had a moment where Yami showed a level of power that not even he could have truly expected, and with Asta and Yami fighting side by side, Dante found himself being overpowered, mostly due to Yami's correctly making a gamble on Asta, and once again making a gamble that Asta can once again break his limits. However, the man who constantly tells his subordinates to break through their own limits has been captured and is being used to usher in a new era of devils upon the world. Since then, the conflict in the story has been tremendous. We've had training arcs for the characters, we've had old faces like the elves show up to help out with the training, and we've seen new characters like Asta get major information revealed about their origins. We've seen Noelle, the mage who could barely control her magic when she first joined the Black Bulls. That very same young woman has dug deep down into her being and summoned up the power to fight against Magicula. And even Magna, one of the weaker Black Bulls, was able to dig down deep to find the power to bring down Dante in what still remains, in my opinion, one of the best fights of Black Clover, if not the most creative fight that we've seen in the series. Each of Yami's subordinates has made him proud, even his newly returned vice captain, but as we get closer and closer to the moment where Yami and Vanges can be rescued, the threats seem to be escalating in power and they don't seem to be slowing down, which is pretty much a bad idea for the main cast to try and fight as they are currently. Everyone is reaching a level of battle strain where the recovery magic can only get them so far before the power gap just becomes too big to overcome. This is precisely why I believe that Yami and Vanges are about to emerge even more powerful than ever before. Asta and the others can be argued to have surpassed Yami in power when we compare him to the version of Yami that fought against Dante, if for no other reason than to keep Yami the strongest member of the Black Bulls. Yami has to emerge from the scenario with a power-up, and I believe he'll get one hell of a power-up that puts him well beyond the power of prime Julius Novachrono, the current Wizard King of the Clover Kingdom. How hard is it to imagine that Yami, due to the conditions that he's in, hasn't absorbed some of that devil power into his being? I think it's entirely possible. In fact, I think it's very likely. We're dealing with unnatural forces here, and Yami is being used to open up a world to those devils. All of that dark energy flowing around and perhaps through him. The idea that there isn't some major impact on his body, changing it on some level, isn't one that I believe is too far-fetched to make. Perhaps we see a version of Yami with a full devil transformation. It would certainly make the trial of Asta look a lot differently now, where you have two captains who have been returned from the Spade Kingdom with devil powers in tow, especially given that before they went to the Spade Kingdom, they were completely fine. Could Yami be the final bit of proof that's needed to keep Asta from being executed, with his being undeniable proof that devils are real, and that Asta, just because he has the devil inside of him, isn't any less pure-hearted than he already was, that he wasn't any less willing to give his life for the Clover Kingdom, serving as a magic knight. Thematically, this also works because we're in a situation where Yami would be making his grand re-entrance onto the battlefield when everyone is completely out of gas, where all hope seems lost, and Yami not only knows that he has to show that he hasn't lost a step, but while everyone else is getting strong enough to rescue him, he himself was getting stronger with every second, every minute, every day that passed by. In a way, Yami took a negative situation and he used it as a way to surpass his own limits. It's going to be needed in these darkest of times where his team has done everything that he's asked of them to break their own limits. Now's the time for Yami to embrace his power, as well as the potential power that might have been absorbed or bestowed onto him from all of this devil activity, even if it's just a temporary power-up for Yami to bring about the end of the strongest of devils whenever they fully emerge, showing that it doesn't matter that you got punched in the face. It only matters if you finish the fight standing up proud and your enemy on the ground. I think this is a valuable lesson for not just the Black Bulls, but everybody else who came to rescue Yami. And I think this has a huge impact on Asta as Asta begins his journey to become the Wizard King. I think this is a key stop for Asta. However, that's just my thoughts on this matter. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Let me know if you think it's possible that Yami has a devil inside of him or has gotten a power from all that devil energy that's passed through him as he's been used as a walking portal between these worlds. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you think it's likely. But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.